Okay, welcome everybody to this new episode of your friendly neighborhood watch. Here with my co-host, the great, the one and only Dr. Peter Venkman.
Hey, thank you, Dr. K.
You're very welcome. And for this wonderful 14th episode, we have
Togus.
Another guest
Damn it.
appearance. And it's actually not Mr. Corso this time.
That's right.
It is the one, the only, Twon.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going?
This is Twon. This is a one of my greatest friends from back in the day.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
ancient from the Stone Age.
Yep.
From the neighborhood, as it were.
From
right?
the neighborhood.
Yes.
Yep. So it's great to have you here, Twon.
It's good to be here, Peter.
I think you should still be called Togus, though. 'Cause Togus is that's such a great story.
We'll see. We might.
Here's the thing: we should probably save this for future generations. You know, so like 500 years from
Prosperity's
now, yeah, people
sake.
can say like, what
Yes.
what was that thing with Togus?
Ah, yes.
And so I'll just say very quickly,
Okay.
but just for the public record.
Okay.
yeah,
The story of Togus. Togus.
Togus was it all started with 4th or 5th grade,
Yeah.
and the most pretty girl in the classroom. You know, we were all 5th graders. you know.
Right.
She is. I don't know why I'm protecting myself. But, like I wasn't like this age, and she was in 5th grade. I was in 5th grade too. Right?
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, we're all 5th graders. She's the prettiest girl in class. Her name was Ginny. Right.
Right.
And
right.
we were all trying to figure out ways to talk to her. You know, just being stupid
Of
5th graders.
course, 5th grade. Misty
Yeah.
Fogel. I remember. Yeah.
Right. It's that's what it was. And so she was like, oh yeah, and my boyfriend, blah blah blah. And then we were like, boyfriend, what's his name? You know, and we're all looking around, and she's like, it starts with a T. And then one of my friends,
The beginning of the end.
one of my friends just instantly
I
says,
see where this is going.
he just instantly says Togus. And then we were like, yeah, is your boyfriend's name Togus? And then we were like dying laughing. Like we were dying, and she was laughing too, but she was also just like, what the hell is
These
going on?
guys are insane.
Right.
Yeah. And so from then on, that morphed into Tunis. So because see what happened was, I had lost contact with that friend.
Yes.
know? And his name is Nate, right?
Yep.
And so from 5th grade until like 8th grade, I think, I was in a different school system, so I just lost contact. You know, he was like one of my best buds, right?
Totally. Yep.
So when we saw each other again in 6th or 7th or 8th grade, or whatever it was, we're like, oh man, you know, Tunis.
It's you.
You know? and then that was the thing. And then we realized it years later when we were in high school.
Man,
it was actually Togus.
Ah, right.
But we had morphed that in our heads
Into
because
Tunis.
Tunis, Africa, right?
Right.
Because we had learned about Tunis, Africa in geography class, you know, in 6th grade or something.
Yep.
And so then it was Tunis.
Oh,
and then for years, man, I'm telling you now, I'm 40 years old, 41. 41.
Yes, I know.
okay?
Me too.
For over 20 years or longer. 30 years of my life, I've been saying Tunis from this one story, and we have evolved like a whole language.
Yes.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's out of
That's
control.
great.
That could be its own podcast in itself.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
We have to address that at some point.
Yes.
like we have an entire language that we call face.
Right. Face.
Yeah,
Oh,
like I said, it could be. We can
just-
go there if you want. It's
not
weird.
to get creepy or anything, because
Right.
it's not creepy. I don't think. It's
No,
not.
no,
But it's just
definitely
like
not.
it's like these weird words that we say. and we're
Right.
just
Oh
both
yeah.
like-
Oh
We're
sure.
just both like, oh yeah.
It's a bunch of inside jokes that kind of evolve into
Totally.
this weird language.
And it's always to make the other person laugh. That's
Of
the whole
course.
thing,
Yeah,
you know.
Of course.
It's a
Oh, I
stupid
know.
thing, you know. But it's just
I
this.
know.
We've been doing that for 20 years, man.
Yep.
20
So-
years plus.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So that's for the public record. Oh, that's what Tunis was.
Ah, that's what that meant.
Because I got my mom and my dad to say it. Like everybody in my
Oh, yeah,
family knows
it's-
about Tunis. you know?
It's kind of weird
Yeah.
Yep.
in a good way.
Fantastic.
So
I
that's
love
the
it.
thing. So
love it.
so feel free to call somebody a Tunis.
Yes,
You know, stop
yes.
acting like a Tunis.
But let us know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Because that would
Please
be,
in the comments.
yeah. You know, and what's great because Tunis sounds more ridiculous than Togus. You know?
It does a little bit.
I do feel like over time Tunis just won out, even though it wasn't the original.
No.
Because it's like Tunis is funnier than Togus because it sounds like penis. You know?
Yeah.
And like, you
It's
know,
a tuna penis.
yeah, when you're like 15, you're like, that's funny. That sounds like penis. That's perfect. You know.
Yes.
Well,
That was
all males are 12 years old,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
matter how old
exactly.
they are, right?
Exactly.
Yes, it's true. It's
So that
true.
was the thing. So then it's been Tunis ever since, and I'm glad that it's Tunis because you know it allows you to just like go on Google Maps and find the map or find the little image that says I love Tunis, and then I'll just send that. You know, I love Tunis.
Oh man.
Stupid. We're stupid. We're just wasting our lives, but it's fun.
I don't think we're wasting.
No, not at
No,
all.
it doesn't feel
That's
like a
called
waste.
enjoying.
Yeah, yeah. So
Speaking of which, we haven't even
anyways.
mentioned what movie we're gonna watch.
Hey,
Talk about watch.
that
talking about
naturally
movies anyway.
leads us to
1984 is A Nightmare on Elm Street, the
Yes.
original, the Wes Craven masterpiece.
great.
Yeah, Peter and I watched it last night
Wow.
together on a date
I know.
in my living room.
Man, we were
And,
so.
did you make out?
we didn't make out, but
No,
we
we
were
shared
cozy.
popcorn though.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
Yep,
were.
yep.
We were. Yeah.
And Twon, you also watched it last night.
I
on
did.
Your, before coming down here to the
Yeah,
big
so
PDX.
it's kind of a funny story about this because when you told me to watch this, so you have to understand, I grew up in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota.
Right.
Our family was technically trailer trash, so
Sure,
we lived in a
sure,
really small trailer, and we
I
had
wouldn't
one
say
little
that, though.
small.
Like, yeah, it's pretty harsh, but like.
It was. We were. If you saw pictures, you'd be like, yeah, you legit. You know, and when this movie came out, I was like 5 years old, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And my dad, we had one little 19-inch TV.
Yep.
And my dad would rent it from the store because he was a big horror movie guy. So we'd rent these
Yes.
movies,
Yep.
and there would be nothing else to do in the house.
Right.
And so
So you
I was
watch it.
5 years old watching Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh man.
And
right.
so, and he would do, this was just one of many movies that he would watch.
Yeah.
So I grew up watching crazy rated R horror films as a 5-year-old.
Yeah.
And as a result, I loved them. And I kind of
Yeah.
view them in a different way than most people do.
Yeah.
And so it kind of like brought
interesting.
these memories back. I was like,
Totally.
oh man.
Yeah.
Like, and so I remember watching Nightmare on Elm Street. I remember watching, all sorts of crazy stuff. And because I don't know why, my mom probably just didn't care. But if she was a normal mom, she's like, I don't want you watching that,
Yeah.
Go to your room while he's watching that. It never happened. And so I just sit there and watch it.
That's awesome.
'Cause there
though.
was nothing
There's
else
something kind of
going on.
awesome about that too, don't
Yeah.
you think?
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like some people could be listening, being like, "Oh man, that's rough," like he didn't let you watch Sesame Street and all this stuff. On the other hand, it's kind of awesome though too.
Yeah. So I
Like,
got the whole spectrum. No,
you
I
gain
still
this whole
watch.
dimension.
I still watch like cartoons,
Yeah.
like I was watching the Gummy Bears, but then I'd go back to Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got the
man,
whole
right.
spectrum.
That's why
and-
you're so into animation now too. I think.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
like for whatever that switch happened in your brain, and you're like. They're the same thing, animation or Freddy Krueger stabbing
Yeah.
somebody. It's on the same field,
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
Totally.
and I feel you, man. That's I've kind of got that in my background a little bit too,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just kind of like that could be our generation, Where
Oh,
those,
yeah.
those things like in the 80s were notorious for that.
I was gonna say
Like,
that's
how
exactly.
many movies were
That's
they
right.
made for like who knows what audience?
That's
that
right.
Was,
Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck.
I mean, there's one of
Even
the
Labyrinth. Even
Oh,
Labyrinth
sure.
was
Oh,
pretty
sure.
borderline. Like
Sure,
ooh,
sure,
there's
sure.
Some stuff in there that's like whoa.
yeah, really merging the
Yeah.
we
Return to Oz.
yeah oh
Remember
big
Return to
time.
Yeah, the
Big
heads
time.
and the
Yeah,
that-
who are
that's-
you making this for exactly?
Remember those guys with the wheel?
Yeah,
the
the Wheelers. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, yeah.
That's
And
if-
Mombi taking her
hey,
head off,
if
switching her
anybody-
heads out.
Hey, if anybody's listening right now, go watch that
Dude,
Return to
dude.
Oz movie, man.
Yeah.
Farouja Balk introduced all of us to the heartthrob that is Farouja Balk.
If I was in charge of Leica, I would go talk to the creators of Return to Oz and be like, we
Ah,
want to
it's
make
Disney,
Return to
though.
Oz.
Yeah.
We want to make it like Leica style.
Yeah.
stop motion animation.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Because that
yeah.
would be a perfect project for Leica. Can you imagine? That
Totally.
company that made Kubo.
Didn't Disney
And,
have something to do with that?
They did. That was a
Yeah.
Disney film. Yeah.
They screwed it
Crazy.
Yeah.
up. Well, they
Yeah,
freaking bought it from Frank L. Baum.
Frank L. Baum. Yeah. Yeah.
Frank L. Baum, his name was. I'm not kidding.
It's
L.
true.
Frank Baum.
El Kabam.
No, I think it's Frank L. Baum.
Frank L. Baum. I think you're right.
I think it is. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
what a
yeah,
funny name,
Yeah.
right?
yeah. Yeah.
It looks fine on a cover, but when you say it out loud, whoa!
Honey, who should
Frank
we
L.
name?
Baum.
What should we name him? How about we name him Frank L. Baum?
Yeah, I was gonna go with Frank the Bomb, but I thought L. Bomb was kind of more like, a little more stylish.
Yes. Oh man, he was totally. Like 1900 though, he was king of literature.
Oh man,
Wizard of Oz was bigger than anything, right?
It was like,
And he did like 25 of those or something.
and they're all terrible.
Massive world.
Yeah, they're terrible though. They're almost unreadable.
Have you tried?
I've tried.
Yeah.
The first one is okay.
Yeah.
First one is okay, just because it's so closely tied to the movie too.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like the original Wizard of Oz. I don't care who you are.
Oh, dude,
man. That's a great movie.
Fantastic movie. Yeah.
You know, that's it. If
Timeless.
if you ever
It
start
is,
to get
totally.
interested in film and stuff, you know, and you like all the classics, like Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and all the good stuff,
All
from
the classics.
from when our age,
That's
from
right. That's
when
right.
But you would go back and be like, you know what, Wizard of Oz. Actually, you would say that about Return to Oz too.
You would.
It's cool in a different way.
Yep.
But man, yeah.
Oh man, I remember whatever cereal my mom bought that was like 1983, right, or 84.
Yeah.
We got some cereal, and I remember specifically getting the decals, the Return to Oz decals out of them and sticking on my bike.
Wow.
It was like a little Jack Pumpkinhead, and then whatever TikTok, the
so weird.
the Army of Oz, yeah.
And Nightmare on Elm Street. So like,
Yes.
I saw that, and kind of see. It was similar to your story, but like mine was, like my brother and I were watching it, like HBO, and we saw the preview like later tonight,
right.
Nightmare on Elm Street, 9 p.m.
Ooh.
And we both like instantly looked at each other like, we're gonna watch this.
We're staying up late tonight.
And then my dad had to have seen that.
Sure.
Did I tell this story already?
No.
Okay.
No.
I feel like I've told this story on this show. Even did I say tell it?
I don't think so.
Might have to edit it out. But
okay. But go ahead.
anyways, yeah. It's a great story. It bears repeating.
Yes.
You know, it's a great story. What was I talking about?
You and your brother, I'm guessing your older brother.
Yes.
You're waiting up to see Nightmare on Elm Street on HBO.
And so my dad instantly saw us look at each other. I know this in hindsight now.
Right.
And he was like, okay,
Right.
I see what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So sure enough, we went to bed. We read our bedtime stories.
Yeah.
And then 9
How
p.m.
old, how old were you about this time?
84 or 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, and it had to have been maybe even a little later because it was on HBO.
Right.
And that movie came to the theaters in 84.
Right.
HBO was like what, maybe a year?
A year, yeah.
It's like
6 months,
year and
a
a
year
half-ish,
behind. Yeah.
That's interesting too, isn't it? Like it used to take that
compared
long.
to now. Yeah. Right.
Now
Now
it's
it's
like,
instantaneous.
boom.
It really is, right? Man. It's a whole different world now.
Yeah.
But did you guys
so
end up watching
Yeah,
it?
so we crept down there at 9 p.m. and turned the TV on, and we were like directly in front of the screen on the floor. It was like one of those floor TVs.
Yeah.
We were directly in front of it, and with the sound down low enough because we didn't want to wake up my mom and dad, whose room was just down the hall.
Oh,
Right.
They knew you were watching it.
Yeah.
Parents aren't dumb.
Yep. So guess what? Like we got about 10 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
Bam! The door kicks open. My dad jumps out wearing a bathrobe, and he has a egg beater, and he goes,
Oh man.
and we instantly just shot up in the air like 25 feet.
Why don't they have cell phones back then,
Yeah.
man? It's like, oh.
And we were just like on the floor clutching our hearts like, oh my god, we just about got killed by Freddy.
You start laughing hysterically after.
And then he's like, that'll be a lesson. Don't watch scary movies.
Yeah.
And then I think he let us watch the rest of it though.
Yeah, that sounds like something your dad would do.
He'd be like, he's like, I taught them their lesson. It's their choice now.
Yeah, it's like, look, you
that's
want to scare
fantastic.
yourself? Be my guest.
Yep. And we watched it. So that movie made a big impact on me too. It was out of all the slasher movies, I think I had a most connection to that one. I don't think I saw Friday the 13th for years after that, even. Because I think it was at somebody's sleepover or something.
Sure.
I was like, oh, nice. Now we can watch. We can go down and rent this for 99 cents. We can go walk across the street to the grocery store and rent it.
You remember those days where we actually go to a store and rent things? It's crazy.
They had
grocery
stores that you could rent stuff.
Yeah, they had like that little corner of the store. You go there and they have the little section. And
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that's something that people don't see anymore.
It's just gone. It's
like
totally
payphones.
gone. Yeah, right. Yeah. And it's it's Redbox now, right?
Redbox
Made
and
that totally
the
obsolete.
internet.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel the same way as you though. I don't like renting movies from the TV. I just have an aversion to it.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know why I have that aversion, but I just feel like something not right about it. I
Yep.
don't know.
Yeah, you mean like on iTunes or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like anything, even Amazon or something, you know. Like I've rented like twice from Amazon, and both
Yeah.
times I was just kind of like, I don't feel good about this.
I mean, I'm okay with it, but
Yeah.
if it's something I can't find anywhere, I'm like, okay, fine.
Yeah, sure.
But-
Well, Mr. Corso was just asking. I think he was the one who said that
Mm-hmm.
in that text today. But he was asking for 4 Rooms, right? The Tarantino film.
Yep.
And we didn't have it. And we're like, I'd let you borrow it, but I don't have it. And he's like, man,
Yeah.
I don't want to just rent it digital.
Yeah, I know.
But
That's one of those movies where it's like you wish you had,
totally.
but then you really wouldn't watch it that much.
I know, that's the thing, right? It's
'Cause that's why
good.
we
It's a
don't
great
have it.
movie. But
That was the first Laserdisc I ever bought.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
At Media Play of all places, which nobody knows. Like there was like 3 of them, and it lasted about 2 years, and they
Oh,
went out of
man.
business. But
Yeah.
Did you ever hear Media Play?
No.
it was, I don't know if it was a Midwest thing.
They were
but
trying to push back against Best Buy.
Sure.
They had a
Circuit
good.
City.
Yeah, sure.
They had a really
Sure,
good run. Like you'd go there, it was the best.
They were really good actually.
Yeah.
They had
like
like
selection-wise?
huge selection of CDs,
Yeah.
huge selection of movies, and then a huge graphic novel section
Yeah,
too.
huge.
Oh,
It was like a
man.
This was like-
bookstore, everything.
This
Yeah.
was like 96.
Didn't they have
This
a
is
cafe,
1996.
too?
They had a graphic novel section. Can you
Yeah,
imagine in
that's-
96?
That's totally.
And they had like a cafe, like you
Yeah.
could eat there and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was basically Barnes and Noble. They were
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
do Barnes
totally.
And Noble,
That's
but like,
exactly
like even
it,
they
yeah.
were trying to amp it more directed at like teenagers.
Sure.
Because it was like Media Play, everything's
I
colorful.
mean, that was like our mecca back in the
Yeah.
day.
And we'd just go there and read comics and stuff. And
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but I guess they just couldn't keep it
and
up.
this guy got a whole bunch of laser discs, tons of laser discs.
I just gave all those away.
Those were
so-
amazing.
No.
The
when I
Pulp
was-
Fiction one.
Yeah, I gave all those away. I'm like, they're not worth. I
Yeah,
looked them up on eBay. I'm like, they weren't worth anything. I was like,
No.
I gave them to somebody. I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
know somebody that can give these a good home, so I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
gave them
yeah,
away. But
Yeah, I mean they're wall art now.
They are,
essentially.
they are.
It's hard.
They take
to,
up a lot of space, but they're beautiful. you
Yeah,
know?
I mean that's they're
The
like
packaging
they're
is
like
like-
LPs for people who don't listen
Yeah,
to records, right?
right.
You like it for the artwork
Yep,
and
yep.
the tactile function of
Yeah,
it, but
like-
practically it's
Like
they're
I
kind of
mean,
useless.
I'll tell you what, man. Like the Pulp Fiction, the Blu-ray of that is
Yeah.
the most boring Blu-ray in existence. It's like it's plastic,
Yes,
little insert,
yes.
and it's like here, Pulp Fiction, $5 on Bluray. Take
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, I'll get it for $5 because it's
Right.
$5.
Right.
But at the same time, you look back at the Laserdisc and you're
Right.
like, it may not look as good as the Blu-ray,
Sure.
like on the screen.
Oh, sure,
resolution
yeah.
wise
those
and
things
stuff.
were
it's-
like
it's
40
40
bucks on
40p,
average, right?
Yeah, right.
But that box art was amazing.
Yeah.
It had like Vincent Vega and
Oh,
Mia
yeah.
Wallace dancing.
Yeah.
And they had like
Yes.
these,
Oh, yeah.
and they had like usually these big like paper foldouts
Yeah.
in the thing where you could
Totally.
like,
Just
like
amazing.
Yeah, it was almost like it was like an LP, but like more.
Yeah,
It was-
sure.
So
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
that was Tarantino.
Yeah.
Because he loves movies, so he's like, I
Yep.
want to make something that I would love to have.
Yep.
So right on to him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because I've got the Reservoir Dogs 15-year anniversary DVD, and that comes in a steel
Yeah.
case that looks like a can of gasoline. And to open it, you take the gas can lid off
That's so
to open the steelbook up.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's way
know.
cooler than the Blu-ray.
yeah, totally. Yep.
But I kind of love Blu-rays because they're just a little bit smaller.
They are, I know.
Take up a little
Space-wise,
bit less space,
yeah.
and they look kind of just more sleek.
Yeah, that blue rounded case,
Yeah.
right?
Come on, now I know you're missing the big giant foam Disney boxes that the VHS tapes used
I
to
hear
come
those
in.
things are worth a lot of money.
The
now.
clamshells.
There's a whole collection, whole
Yeah.
collector market for
Yeah.
that crap. Yeah.
They call them the
Jesus.
clamshells.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had a couple of those, and I'm like, why do they sell those?
Well, I get conflicting things from that because I had one time where I saw something on eBay or something.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was. Listen, I was away from America for a while, and then I rediscovered eBay, and I was just on eBay, just like checking stuff out.
Addicted,
Yeah.
yes.
It's like, this is so cool. But man, I just what did I find?
Yeah.
Where was I going? With
Some
that?
clamshell, some
Yeah.
Disney
Oh,
clamshell. Yeah.
Somebody was selling like Aladdin in the
Right.
clamshell for like $795.
What? Oh, they were asking. Yeah. Probably not selling. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
knows?
yeah. That's right. Yeah, they were
But,
asking
yeah.
for that, and I was like, that's crazy. And then I was at Goodwill like the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's Aladdin for 50 cents.
Right.
Yeah, I say,
So,
right.
so I'm getting
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I'm getting
Yeah.
conflicting reports here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Oh man, those
fantastic.
things. What would you do with those? You just, I guess
Put them
it'd
on
be
a
like
shelf and
They're ugly though. They're
They're
ugly.
terrible.
they're so butt ugly.
they
yeah.
turn all yellow and
Yeah.
you know,
They're
yeah.
classic, but geez.
Yeah, they're just puffy in all the wrong ways and stuff. And
Yeah.
like just man, they're just sick, and they take
Yep.
up way too much space.
Right.
Even a great movie with great box art
Right.
looks horrible on those
Right.
clamshells.
Yeah.
And I never really understood why they did that. Like Disney was like the only one that really did that.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're like, oh, this is family friendly and this is us. And then you
And
have
that's what that was all about. Yeah, was trying to project some kind of image.
Yeah.
like we're gonna make
Some-
our case puffy to make
Yeah.
it seem
Yeah.
safe.
Right.
Yep.
This is like
Yep.
a nice soft toy for your kid.
Which is funny because the only other movie I ever had in one of those was WrestleMania,
Oh.
like 7 or 8 from like
Nice.
91. It was
nice.
I think it was 90 or 91, and it was Undertaker and
Nice.
We should do a spin-off.
something else, but it was in one of
Do a
those.
spin-off
Spin-off
where
podcast.
we just talk
We
about,
talk about wrestling.
classic WWF.
Oh man.
And because then it'll
Yeah.
give us an excuse to go back and research those. Those
Oh,
are so
yeah.
fun to watch.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Can you
Oh,
imagine
they're-
that era too? 89,
that-
90,
yeah.
91.
That was its
Yeah,
prime.
It really was.
That was when all the most ridiculous stuff on the planet was
Yes.
happening.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh,
it was
yes.
like take all the weirdness happening in the 80s music,
Right.
in 80s fashion,
Yep.
in 80s movies.
Yep.
Take all of that
Coming to
Boom.
America.
and then just like drop an atom bomb on it, and then you get WWF. you
That's
know?
right. That's
You're
right.
like-
We got the Russians, right? We
Yeah.
got Nikolai Volkov with the
Oh,
Russians. We got the
man.
Iron Sheik with the
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanna
OPEC
live-
crisis and everything. We got
I wanna
Rowdy
live-
Roddy Piper.
I want to live in the future
Superfly. Oh.
where those are the things that survive.
Yes.
You know? That's how people learn
Right.
about World War II and stuff. You know, from watching those.
Yes.
So how did we get here? Watching WrestleMania,
Yeah. They think that was actually what happened. You know,
Hulk Hogan versus
shoot.
Andre the Giant.
they're like, man, people were crazy in the 80s.
Yep.
They had Randy Savage.
God.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Snap into a Slim Jim.
Too much. I'm getting a nostalgia bomb over here.
I know,
isn't it?
right?
Oh.
That's
And then
what the show's
remember
all
when he was
about.
up against the Ultimate Warrior?
Yeah.
Oh, the Ultimate
Oh, the Ultimate Warrior was great.
Okay, we got to stick to Nightmare.
Okay,
on Elm
so
Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Anyway, Nightmare
Okay.
on Elm Street.
Okay. So the first time I didn't see the first one first. I saw the third one first.
Which is the best one.
Dream Warriors. It is, and so great.
Yes.
Thank
Good
you for
point.
saying that, Twon, because Peter and I had this huge discussion last night that is
Yes.
the best one. It's really the
Yes.
pretty much nearly all the fans'
Yeah.
favorite,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
for a reason. It's
it's
epic.
It's
Yeah.
magical.
Yeah.
Patricia
Yeah.
Arquette.
Right.
Whoa.
Yep. And it's like it's such a superhero movie without being superheroes, but
Yes.
the stage that film sets with your good guys and they're going as a team
In the junkyard?
against Freddy in the junkyard. Oh, I mean,
I haven't seen that movie in years, but
It's
I just remember I
so
didn't hate
good.
one thing
One
of it. I was
iota.
just like, boom,
That's
it's
the
the
one where
best.
she had the cockroach arms.
yes,
Remember that?
yes,
Barely, but
Cockroach
yeah.
arms.
Yep.
And then they broke
Yep.
off or something.
Yep.
Like, oh, it's
Yep.
the best. We're gonna have to do
It's-
that in a future episode.
we really do because it really is the like.
We're gonna get
those
Togus
first
back.
7. We will.
Well, I'm just a train right away. It's all good.
That's right. That's right. Here in the great
Yeah.
PCW.
Yep.
PNC, where
So
are
you
we?
saw
We're in the
the third-
PNC, the
Yeah,
Pacific
PNCW.
Northwest, PNW. Yeah, there we go. But anyway,
You
so I
saw
saw
part
that at a
3.
friend's birthday party.
Yeah.
It was his actually. So my friend Dustin in 4th grade. This would have been like 1988. So
This is cool stuff.
I think it was shortly after the film had come out and it was on. But anyway, my friend Dustin's older sister Jennifer's birthday party.
Wow.
And so it's all these girls, right? And he's the only boy. So his mom let me come over to hang out with him during his
Yes.
sister's birthday party.
Hey.
And they picked Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Hey, can I just say thank
Yeah.
you to great moms?
Yes.
That's a great mom.
They're important, right?
Boom.
That's what I'm saying. So we got to watch it with a whole bunch of girls, and it was freaking great.
Nice.
It was
I
great.
can imagine. Were they all like screaming all
Oh,
the time?
yeah. And we're just like, yeah!
You're like running around with
That's
claws.
great. Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Yep. And then I went back and watched.
Yeah.
I watched them all out of order, too. I don't think I ever
Me
really,
too.
there was no order to it, but
Yeah. Well, yeah. I watched part 1, and then I remember watching part 3. I don't know what happened with part 2. Somehow that
Yeah.
flew under the radar. I had
I
to
hear
go
part
back.
2 wasn't as good.
Yeah.
And then
But-
part 3 kind of quote unquote saved the series.
Oh,
And
totally. it
4
did.
was really good too.
Totally did.
It was.
I mean,
can't
honestly,
remember
I
what
like.
which one was that one?
Okay, so 2 is Freddy's Revenge.
Yep.
3 is Dream Warrior.
Yep.
4 is Dream child or master? Let's
Oh,
see. I got it right here.
Yeah, after 3, it's kind of hazy to me.
So 4 is Dream Master.
Dream Master.
Then 5 is the Dream Child. Then 6 is where they changed the title to Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead. See, that was the one. So
the
after
Final Nightmare,
Yep.
which is also better known as Freddy in 3D or The Revenge of Yaphet Koto.
Yeah.
One of our regulars we talk about here on the
man.
channel. But yes, Yaphet Koto versus Freddy in 3D.
That was great.
And then A New Nightmare, which came out, which was great.
Yeah.
I thought that was
What a
just
great idea.
Yeah, totally rethink the whole thing, right? And
I think the execution was a little off in that, But I agree.
I think the idea was
Yeah,
great.
the
Yeah,
idea was great,
sure.
but
And it was off too. I think time-wise,
something
it
was
was kind of
off.
like it was in '95 or
Yeah.
whenever, and so you kind of get stuck with that like
did
the
it
wave of crappy CG.
Yeah. Right.
But it was a great idea
Yeah.
of having it be like, hey, we're filming
Yeah, yeah,
the new Nightmare on Elm Street.
It
But then we find out that Freddy's actually real in the
Yeah,
glove,
yeah.
and
I think the problem I had with it,
Yeah.
because I had this moment a few years ago when I found the whole set of all the Nightmare on Elm
Yes.
Streets on
Yep.
DVD,
yes,
and it was something ridiculous, like $20 or something,
right,
And so I was like, I got to get all these, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch all of them in one day.
right.
And so I started at 8 in the morning.
That's such
It's like
an
eating
awesome
a whole
adventure.
chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it, but
Yeah.
you're not going to like yourself.
I
afterwards.
know, and it was such a weird thing, So I remember, that like some of those were duds and some of them were really good.
Yeah, totally.
But it was so weird to watch them all in order like that in
Yep.
one sitting. And I felt like maybe I was just getting tired too by the time
Sure,
I got to the
at
last
10 o'clock
one.
at night when
Yeah.
you got around to the last one.
Yeah. But a bunch of my friends came over because I was like, hey, I'm starting at 8 a.m. Nobody showed up, until like 10 at night.
Right.
Then I had a bunch of friends trickling in,
You're like,
And I was
now I'm on part 7, you
yeah,
turkeys.
Yeah. And so we all watched the last one.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like, this is so slow. It's just
Yeah.
the pacing is slow.
Yeah. That's a very good
Yeah.
point. Yep.
Compared to the other Freddy's where it's
Yep.
like something awesome is happening all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, and talking about the first one, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the first time we see him, when he comes out and his arms just start getting long.
Yes.
The very first time you see him, he's
I
like,
know. Oh,
and he
so
does
cool.
the Stretch Armstrong move.
Yeah.
And that was so cool about his character too. It was like every time you saw him in this, especially in this first one,
Yeah.
he's doing something different.
Yeah.
That's totally weird,
Yeah.
right? Like the
Yeah.
one time when he cuts his fingers off and he
Yeah.
slices himself open and
Yeah.
his guts come out.
It's like he can do anything.
He's just
Yeah.
yeah.
And like that was such a huge thing to see, be like, whoa.
Right.
Because all the other slashers had rules.
Oh, totally.
Freddy has
That's
no
the
rules.
thing. This was Dreamland, right?
Yeah.
No rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yep.
Man. Yeah, so it was fun to go back to this and just be like, man, Wes Craven, another genius.
Yeah,
Like
big time. Not
he
to be
knew by that
underestimated.
time he
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
that like everybody's coming to see this Nightmare on Elm Street and they're all freaked out and they're all waiting,
Right.
And right away he shows Freddy.
Right.
Within the first few seconds he shows
Right.
Freddy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to blow people's minds.
Yeah, putting the glove together and everything in that weird little montage in the beginning.
And then he's already chasing her and it starts off
Yeah.
with the dream,
Yeah, yep.
And you're just like,
Right.
this is perfect. I mean,
Right.
what a great way to start a movie with all that anticipation.
Oh, totally.
And then just to give people what they want right away.
Totally. Almost the exact opposite of the first Friday the 13th, right?
Yeah.
Where there's just tons of build
there's
up.
tons of build up.
I mean, you get the flashback and everything,
yeah.
but
It's a
as far
slow
as
burn.
yeah,
It's a
but
slow
it's a
burn.
real slow burn and just a very different way to do it, right?
This one just hits you over the head.
Totally.
And then it's like, oh, it's just a dream. And you're
Right.
like, whoa, what else is going to happen now?
Right.
Like, what a great opening.
Oh,
Just
man.
one of the best.
Yeah. And you, Pete, mentioned that too. It's he does that great walk between fooling you as a viewer into exactly knowing when people are dreaming and when they're not.
Yeah.
He doesn't come right out and like, oh, this is obviously a dream or
Yeah.
this obviously isn't a dream.
Right.
And he's trying to pull those strings on you as a viewer, which is a really cool
Yeah.
thing to do without it being cheesy, because
Yeah.
you could do the same thing and
It's a fine
ruin
line.
that where you're like, I get the gag, right? Quit trying to dupe me. But
Yeah, he's a ringmaster.
Yeah.
Man. He knows he's in control.
yeah, we've talked about him a little bit. I mean, his first two movies with Last House on the Left and The Hills Have Eyes.
Whoa. Have you seen those ones?
I have not.
Oh
I wonder
man.
if you watched those when your 5-year-old self. You know,
I mean, I probably have seen them. And I don't remember because I was 5 years old and traumatized. But
yeah.
probably 4, right? It was earlier, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But like Toby Hooper, he came in with a bang.
Yeah.
Like no fucking around. Last House on the Left is a
yeah.
horribly awesome horror movie.
It's rough though.
Yeah, but it's ragged and
Brutal.
it's a lot of just torture and no monsters or anything, just terrible people torturing not terrible people.
Yeah. It's pretty much it. And there's like
But it's a revenge movie, so there's just like the awesome payback,
Yeah.
that all good revenge movies have.
But there's like very little music.
Man, it's just pure.
It's almost like a documentary of just people getting tortured. You know?
Yeah.
That was Wes Craven's first movie.
Yeah, he's like, here I am.
Yeah.
Just like Toby Hooper with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Like, here I am.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, horror's
Yeah.
back. All right.
And then all of a sudden, by the time they make Nightmare on Elm Street, they got all this money thrown at them.
Totally.
And now they're like, okay, cool.
Totally.
I can actually make a legit horror movie.
Yeah.
And
We talked about that too. This movie is it's really distinct in that it totally cashes in on that. Like, it's not only is it just it's teenagers, but there's something very glamorous about it, right?
Oh, for
all
sure.
the backlighting, all the smoke,
Yeah.
very like here's MTV, man. This is
Yep.
what's going on. Let's show the movie that kind of has that glamorous,
It totally does.
Without being theatrical necessarily, but having that totally music video vibe thing going on. And I mean all that, like pink light with fog, pure backlit, and then green light from underneath, time and time again.
Yep.
And those super claustrophobic sets too, every time they're in the boiler room or whatever it's supposed to be where he gets killed, where it seems like every time somebody the main character anyway, when she's dreaming, she's always ending up in the boiler room thing, and those little narrow,
so claustrophobic,
narrow set she's got to walk through, and everything's all smoke and steam and very stylistic
for sure. Style slathered on.
Yeah.
What do you think, Togus?
Yep.
Togus. Damn it.
How do you like the beginning of that movie?
So the beginning was pretty good. Like you said, it just kind of reeled people in, just sucked them in. But the one thing that stood out, like I don't remember the last time I saw this movie, but I was rewatching it, and the first death scene,
Yes.
that was so on point,
right, isn't it?
and it ages. It doesn't age a dime.
Yeah.
Like,
God, we said the
I was-
exact same thing.
I'm like, it
her
does-
going on the ceiling,
I'm like-
all of that reverse upside down
It's
shot
like-
stuff. Yeah.
it felt like I was watching a movie today. Like,
Really?
this freaks me out more
Really?
than any other horror movie I've ever seen. And I was
really.
I was like,
That's insane.
I'm like, they nailed it. Like,
Yeah, they really did.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Like,
They really
that just
did.
blew me
Yeah.
away. I
Yeah.
was like, and I vaguely started remembering that part. I was like, oh yeah, I
Sure.
totally forgot about this part.
Sure.
But then when I saw it, I was like,
That was
I'm actually
intense.
watching like the special effects. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is like
All practical too. I
Yeah.
mean, there's definitely some
camera tricks.
some
and
camera tricks,
shit
and some
whatnot.
optical effect, right? But
Yeah,
most
yeah.
of that is practical effect, and shooting on an upside down set,
Yeah,
shooting
yeah.
in reverse.
Yeah, it's
that
nothing
sort of stuff, but-
amazing, but it's like,
but
it still works.
done to perfection. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, just like
Yeah.
This was before computers, right?
Exactly.
So you're just
Exactly.
blown away by this. You're
Yep.
like, what?
Yep.
So yeah, that
Attention to detail there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just- I mean, you got to hand it to them.
Really?
They nailed everything down, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
painted that room upside down and like.
And that-
Man, right. And it's great because there's 2 years earlier in the first Poltergeist, they have that scene in Poltergeist is very similar where the daughter is having the poltergeist reaction, right? And she gets sucked up onto the ceiling but she doesn't get all killed or tortured or any of that.
No.
I think this is almost like a response to that shot a little bit, to Toby Hooper's version of it, where then Wes Craven's like, okay, and then we're going to do Sam Raimi's 10,000 gallons of blood
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
and put you on the ceiling and
But this was before. Oh no, it was after.
This
Evil
was after
Dead.
that, yeah.
It was after Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking Evil Dead 2.
No, Evil Dead 2, right? Yeah.
Evil Dead 2 was after this.
It was, yes. Yeah.
But Evil Dead, that was like what? Was
Yeah.
that like 80?
1980, yeah.
Jeez.
Yep.
that's amazing.
Like 4 years before this.
Right.
Yeah.
So good though.
Wes Craven, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's exactly right. That scene and the geyser of blood.
Yes.
Those. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All-time
And it's
greats.
great too. I mean, not only that it's happening, but I loved that scene because the boyfriend's watching all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like stupefied, like,
Right.
ah, what's going on?
Right. Which is cool, just remembering that from a kid's point of view too.
Yeah.
How like he seemed like the biggest and toughest one out of all those kids.
Right.
Like,
and he's
Johnny-
instantly defeated.
And he's instantly
right?
like, oh my
Yeah.
god, it turns into jello.
Right.
So it's scary then.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this guy can't even hold up.
Right. What are you supposed to do
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah. Because Johnny Depp, I mean,
Yeah.
he came off as a pretty boy in that.
Oh, he did. He is.
He
Yeah.
was-
Yeah.
He was just,
Come
he
on,
had
but
the
you
big-
know that you love his football jersey that only goes to his
That-
belly button.
That was a cool
Right.
look. That was a cool look.
It
I
was
was-
like his
I was telling my
high water
wife-
capri
Yeah.
sweatpants.
I was telling my wife about that this morning. I was like, do you think I could bring back that number 10 jersey with the midriff cut off? Because I think,
Yes.
I don't know, but I think that looks good. And
Yeah,
she
yeah.
just like, no, like didn't even, no, not even crack a smile. She was like, no, that's not
Just no.
good. So,
Yeah. Speaking of death scenes, what we'll do a round table. Favorite death scene in this movie.
you go first, Dr.
Okay, so mine is definitely the Johnny Depp with
Yeah.
the bed.
Yeah.
I think that definitely the first time I saw it, and then it resonates with me. There was something really cool about being sucked down into that bed.
And then
the geyser of blood coming out, but then particularly in the following scene when the cops are there and they see the blood soaking through
Dripping down.
the ceiling from the
Yeah.
massacre that's just happened.
whoa.
And they're like, "Where's the coroner?" Oh, he's puking his guts up in the bathroom. Like everyone is so wigged out by it. I think that was and the thing is, I liked it too because we were really starting to really like Johnny Depp's character.
Yeah.
And you were hoping that he was going to
make it
survive,
through,
right?
yeah.
And then it's kind of like,
And that
nope.
happened. Yeah.
Well, he kept on falling asleep. But
He did. It was inevitable, right?
It
But
was
you're
like,
"No,
don't
maybe-
fall asleep, don't fall
maybe he
asleep."
won't." Yeah.
And he falls asleep.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, what a jerk. Was that whole thing supposed to be like he was watching TV on his lap with the music in his headphones?
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be like he was trying to keep himself awake by doing that? Was that what they were trying to say?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Or was that just like a normal
I
teenage
think that's
thing
just
to
what
do?
he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that just
Yeah.
an extension of what you were saying earlier? That's what we do now too, where
Right.
you're watching a video and you got headphones on to something else,
Right.
or a podcast, and then
yeah,
Yeah,
I
right.
mean,
it's the same thing, right?
Multimedia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, teenagers haven't changed one
Yeah.
bit. I mean,
No doubt. No
you know,
doubt.
times have changed, but they're still doing the same
Ye-
shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You need to have like three
Exactly.
different things going on at once,
Yep.
right, to be totally
Yep.
happy.
Yeah. Record, cassette,
Yeah.
and TV and giant tube.
Yeah.
Now we have
13-inch TV and all
iPads
that.
and
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
It's,
the same-
it's the same
it's the same
thing.
shit.
It's
Oh
Yeah.
man.
different distraction, different device. It's
I
Yeah.
I still remember the day like I saved up money to buy the TV VCR combo.
Oh yeah, man.
was that the one from your
It's
old?
like 13-inch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yep.
Yep.
So
A lot of memories on that
yeah,
little TV.
watch that little TV because it was like that was the first time I was like I got my own way to play movies.
Totally,
in my room,
man.
and
Totally.
we don't have to put this in the main living room for
That's
everybody
right.
to
No,
see.
you can go hide out
Yeah.
and sit like you were saying,
Yeah.
sit 12 inches away,
Yeah.
right? Just
Yeah.
get up next to it.
Yep. That was a great little TV.
Yeah, my best friend in high school, we did the exact same thing on his. Yeah.
And it's like the size of an iPad now.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah. Yeah. Except about 4,000 times deeper.
No kidding,
With
man.
that giant irradiation, that tube,
TVs
irradiating
have
gamma
changed a
rays.
lot. TVs have changed a lot.
Oh yeah, they're
Yeah, TVs are just ridiculous.
yeah.
People now they don't know.
Oh man,
They don't remember the CRT
Yeah.
days.
I know
Jeez.
the good old CRT.
It was funny because I didn't have a TV for a long time. And I think I was just watching stuff on my laptop or something,
Sure.
And then I got like a projector for a while.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I still never had a TV set,
Yep.
So I'd have the projector to watch movies on.
Yep.
But then anything else I would just watch on my laptop or whatever,
Right.
And I lived that way for a long time. But then I lost my train of thought.
TVs are cheap. You bought a
TVs
TV.
are yes, thank you.
Yeah.
This is like
Yeah.
an old man talking now.
I was
Sorry.
talking about something
Yeah.
one day, and then I forgot what it
Oh
was.
man, but yeah, that's exactly what happened. So then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a TV.
Yeah.
And I think I started to like live with my wife, my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Like, let's get a TV. Yeah, I should
Yeah.
get a TV. And then I remember like being like, whoa,
This is what it's like.
They're like so thin now. What happened to the
Yeah.
whole back? Can we get a TV with a back?
Right.
I was like actually asking people.
Oh
like,
man,
like, I
I
was
don't
like,
make those
do
anymore.
you have any like that, or just like normal TVs? Like, do they all have to be these like flat screen things?
Yeah, that was like overnight too.
Yeah,
it was like
it
once the industry said, okay, we're done. There's no more tube TVs. It was like pow, they're just gone.
I think that was right around 2009.
Yeah,
Does that sound about right?
I even would have said earlier than that,
Yeah,
maybe,
way
but
earlier than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like they were like thicker, but they weren't
Yeah.
like flat. They weren't as flat as they
Yeah.
are now.
sure.
Yeah.
But they were definitely like at
Yeah, yeah,
least
yeah.
like
Yeah, that's true.
5 inches deep or
That's
something.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
even like I remember 2001 or so, my roommate, first year in college, had
Yep.
like a TV that was like,
An actual.
he was like, it's a flat screen. But
Yeah, right,
back then,
right.
A flat
Oh,
screen
yeah.
was like,
Yeah,
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 like
yeah.
the width of that bookshelf.
Yep, yeah. I remember when Apple pushed all those the monitors right around then
Yeah.
too. They were supposed to be flat screen monitors,
Yes.
but
Yeah, it was.
like kind of. They were
Yeah.
getting there,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, they weren't quite flat.
We have
Yeah.
such an interesting generation, guys. We've lived
Yeah.
through so much weirdness, you know?
Yes. Speaking of Laserdisc, right? I mean, we were there from like really we're like that primo. We were young for Betamax, but I mean, our first VCR as a kid was a Betamax, you know, and then to where are we at now? 4K, 4 billion K,
My goodness.
super duper, hologram TV.
My goodness. I'm not.
I mean,
going
any
for
day, I'm
4K.
still waiting to when I go and turn my TV on and there's a naked lady trying to call me to order
Yes.
Taco Bell, like in Demolition Man.
Yes. That's such a great.
Give it about 5
reference.
years.
Yeah, we're
That's
almost
such
there,
a great
right?
reference. Yeah. I love it. Man, I can't wait for those days.
Yep.
Or just be like, you know, I have channel 47, 15, 32, 3. You know, like Back to the Future 2.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
naming off the channels.
Yep.
I mean, we pretty much have that now.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
pretty there, much
Yeah.
there. Right?
Yeah.
Good times.
Man, yeah. But Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, there's a few points that I wanted to make.
Okay.
One point was the mom.
Yes.
Interesting
She's
character.
great. Yeah.
Interesting character.
Yeah, you should definitely talk about the difference in acting, right, between her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that, let me guess it, okay?
Yes.
Ronnie, is it? Ronnie Blakely?
Okay, Ronnie Blakely, you've got
Yes.
it, Peter. Well done.
I'm so glad I remembered that.
Yep.
My memory still is working a little bit sometimes.
Yes. Good.
But yeah.
Versus the main character, who was Heather Langenkamp.
Yes.
What is she doing these days? Anything?
She's still around.
I assume she's probably doing like TV shows or something.
She's, you know,
IMDb will tell us.
man, I really liked her in this too. You know, I think she had a big job carrying this movie.
Yeah,
on
she
her
did a good
shoulders.
job for that.
Oh, dude,
role.
For
really?
being that,
Really?
like, she was like, you know, it's probably really inexperienced.
There was a couple moments in the film. I actually wrote these down because it pissed me off. I don't know if you remember, like, so the bathtub scene.
Yeah.
Freddie
Yes.
is
Yeah.
doing whatever, and
Oh,
she's
man.
she's getting crazy. Freddy's like attacking her in the bathtub,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden she wakes up or whatever, and she's like totally calm. Like,
Yeah,
oh, I'm sorry,
right.
Mom.
And her
everything's
mom's
fine.
trying to open the door. Yeah.
Everything's great. Everything's fine. She's just like, it's like from like it's total 180. Just like what?
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
Yeah.
But you could kind of chalk it up to like she had been awake for 6 days already, you know.
She's just kind of going
Just
into
starting
limbo.
to zone out, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much impossible too.
Yeah.
There's no way you
Oh,
can
I
stay
know.
up for 6 days.
Yeah. Right. It's like
I could
no.
say 2 days, maybe tops.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, you would go insane.
Yes.
I mean, you would really
would
go
literally
nuts.
start seeing
Yeah. Your brain
hallucinations.
would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Begin to
so
fail.
that was a little bit of an exaggeration.
Yeah.
That was a little irresponsible, Wes Craven, to let kids think that you can stay awake for 7
Yeah,
days.
Wes Craven. If you're, is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Oh yeah.
If you're listening right now, Wes Craven, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare-
That was a really mean thing to do, sir. I'm taking you to task. But you know,
But Ronnie,
Man.
compare Ronnie.
but Ronnie. So yeah, we made this comment. when we
Ronnie
were
Blakely
watching
to
it.
Heather Langenkamp. Yep.
And I felt like, you know, Ronnie, she's an attractive woman.
Yes.
You know,
Definitely.
she's a beautiful woman. She has a really interesting face.
Right.
Very interesting face.
Yeah.
The way she moves her eyes and stuff, like
Yep.
her
Yep.
nose too. Her nose is like so perfectly straight. And,
Yeah. And like big, flat, very like American Indian kind of cheekbones,
Yeah,
right? Like a real
Yeah, she really interesting, cool face.
ivory
I
looking
like her,
face. Yeah.
You know, but then she also, like, maybe her character had to have orange skin.
Yeah, I know, right? She's totally fake and baked. Yeah.
She looked like Pat Sajak.
She looked like a hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah. She was ready to host Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
But then, what was I going to say?
Yes.
But so she had that look going on for her.
Yeah.
Now let me say say that again. Let me emphasize that
Oh,
she is a
geez.
beautiful woman.
Definitely.
But in this character, there was something strange going on with her for sure. And so she has that scene, in the kitchen. I think it is with the daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
with the
great.
bottle and she throws the bottle down on the floor. That scene.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the way the mom acts, just watch that scene and watch the mom and then watch the daughter.
Yeah.
It's like two complete different schools of acting.
Absolutely.
It's like the old style Hollywood versus like this new wave that's coming.
That's right.
And you're just seeing them act against each other, and it's so awkward and artificial and weird.
Yeah.
But I think Wes Craven kind of liked that. He's like, yeah, let's go with this.
Oh, definitely.
This is a weird family dynamic. These
Well, there's
two
this
have.
one moment where you watch that girl, the mom, do
Marge.
whatever her character, and it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, she likes to drink. She likes to drink. Oh, did you know she likes to drink?
Yes. Yeah.
Here's another bottle. Do you realize she likes to drink? We get it. Jesus
Right.
Christ.
Right. Oh, I know. Over the top.
You get force-fed that.
She really, I gotta hand it to her though. Like she tried in every shot she was in. She tried to like just milk it for every.
Totally.
She's like posing, mugging.
Oh, lots of
She's-
posing.
She just gotta look
Yeah.
beautiful for every single line and toss of her head. She's gotta look beautiful.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
that's the
Compared
old style-
to
that's the old style acting.
that, exactly. Yeah.
And so maybe that was a weird character choice of hers too.
Yeah.
To show like that's her mom's drunk all the
That's-
time, and that's the
Well,
kind of
or
state
that's
she
the
goes-
mom versus the
Yeah.
teenager thing
Yeah.
going on, right? Yeah.
For whatever
so,
reason though, it just comes off super weird.
Yeah.
Because the daughter's really acting real. She's acting like,
Exactly.
Mom, why are you doing this?
Yep.
And, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
and then she's like, oh, daughter.
Yeah.
Like she's like William Shatnering it. You know? And,
Put the bars up on to protect you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
and she's like, Mom, I'm gonna kick you in the face.
Yeah.
She's like, why would you say such a thing, my dearest daughter? There's something
And
weird.
she does it like all the way, even when they go down to the furnace room in the house, and
Yeah.
she brings out Freddy's glove
Yeah.
to show her.
Yeah,
she's
that
doing
story.
it then too.
Oh, for sure.
When she's telling the story,
Her
like
story,
looking
she's
away,
just-
look
oh,
down, look at the
she's-
glove.
You know what she's doing
Yeah.
too? She's like, I'm gonna melt you. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna melt the screen.
Yeah.
She's that old style, and she does a good
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
I'm there.
Yeah. And I gotta say too, her what ends up being not death scene, but kind of death scene. That's a great scene too.
That was
Where she got sucked into the window.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
was pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, just in a funny way.
Yeah.
Not,
Who got sucked into the bed?
That was
I mean, not Johnny Depp, but the other one, the one that turned into like a skeleton and started in the. Blue.
that was supposedly the mom, right?
That's the mom, right? Because remember, Freddy jumps on her, and then there's the blanket.
That's right.
That whole scene
That was
made no
intense.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be my favorite death scene.
That it's
Is the
Just-
mom turning into a skeleton and then
and then rising
blood,
up into the
and then the
fog.
and then the bed turns into like a blue lake.
Yeah.
A blue glowing lake.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
turns
yeah.
into glass,
Right.
and then she's gone. That's.
And she's gone to the bed, just a normal
Bizarre.
bed after that.
Yeah.
I just described the greatest scene in cinema history.
Yeah. Well, and we mentioned too, like the husband, the dad,
Yeah.
the cop, right?
Yeah.
And the main character are sitting there watching it,
Yeah.
and then all that happens, and they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, please step outside of the
Yeah.
room, right?
I gotta have a moment with Freddie here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. We'll let you
Wait a
take care
minute.
of Freddy.
I'm pretty sure you'd be like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
Yeah. My wife just turned into Skeletor and sunk into the bed, then turned into a water bed, and then turned into glass.
Right.
And our bed's back.
And our bed's back, and she's gone.
Right,
All right,
right,
I'm gonna go
right.
downstairs.
All right.
Okay, I'm out
Time
of
to
here.
go to bed now.
I'll go have a beer.
Yeah. I guess that's why it's called melodrama.
Jeez, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's my favorite death scene. What was your favorite death
Oh,
scene?
the first one, absolutely. The
Yeah.
one, the
Yeah.
ceiling and the
You were really affected by that.
well, just like it was so like drawn out, and then the part where Freddy slashes her stomach, and you
Yeah.
just see
It just
you see her
opens up.
stomach just turn into like
Yeah.
four slats.
Yes.
You're just like,
Yeah.
that is genius.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're
Just-
right. That was intense.
Agreed.
Yeah. Wow. Something incredible, and that's what I think. Like that's why I like Freddy too. Is he's just got so much style, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just
yeah.
he's just got that clawed hand,
Right.
And he's having a blast.
Well, and he's always cracking jokes, right? He's way more of a trickster,
Yeah.
whereas Jason and Michael Myers, neither of them ever have a line,
Yeah.
right? And so they're all about this like
Just
menacing.
imposing.
They're just they're this like force or whatever. Whereas Freddy's all about tricking you and like deceiving you, and
It's great.
you know, a master of illusion, to quote a totally different movie, but yeah, kind of like not playing it straight and everything, right? And he's just there to totally F with you.
Yep.
Not really so much just there to bulldoze everybody over and kill everybody, but yeah, really cool character.
Yeah. Just amazing.
Yeah.
And
Can we talk about the Home Alone shit that she was doing right before the end? Where she was setting up-
yes,
like I thought that
with
was
the
kinda,
hammer.
Yeah, I thought that was
the
kind
light
of.
bulbs blowing up or whatever it was.
I thought that was very
Yeah.
forced but cool at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I see what's gonna happen.
There's definitely a little MacGyver and a little A-Team thing going on right
But
there.
I
right?
also felt
Yeah.
like Freddy could just get around that because he's Freddy.
yeah,
But remember,
it worked.
now that's after she's brought him into the real world.
Yeah.
So now the rules change.
I didn't remember that
Because
part.
when she goes into
So
when she falls
wakes
asleep
up by holding her.
by holding him,
Holding him,
and
and-
then she wakes up and then he's in the real world and they're tussling.
Yep.
And then
So
she-
now
then-
he's screwed because he's in the
Right.
real world, and okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Except for when he attacks her mom, and then she turns
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Skeletor,
yeah,
and then they
that's-
sink into the
I
blood.
think that was
into
the confusion.
yeah.
The whole glass mom skeleton
So
thing.
that's how you travel through dimensions. You know,
I
so
guess.
You start off.
Did they ever talk about that? Did you read the Wikipedia article and they ever talk about that in an interview or anything?
No.
Like, I'd be curious.
I'm sure
about
it's
that.
out there. Yeah, I'm thinking this is where Stranger Things.
I mean,
got
I
all
looked
the
up
ideas
I looked
from,
up
right?
the ending. Do you know how
Yeah.
you know how the weird ending? Did you look that up and like why that ending was that ending?
No.
Oh,
Basically-
it's a strange ending.
Yeah, so the strange. So what I read is
Yeah.
I looked it up. Essentially, Wes Craven wanted just a very simple, happy ending. So basically, after Freddy disappears,
Yep.
that was supposed to be it.
Right. But then there's the whole scene with the car, right?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you're getting
So
at,
that
yeah.
was like, so the producer on this film was
Yeah.
like, no, we got to have a scary ending. And so they did fisticuffs and they compromised on what the car ending with the
Right.
craziness. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. It
Yeah.
just was crowbarred in there at the last minute.
Sure, totally.
And
totally.
I was like,
had to be left open for a sequel too, right?
yeah,
I mean,
I get it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I'm like, it just felt bizarre.
it's weird. It is bizarre, right? Because it starts out, it's all like way glamour, super
Yeah,
like,
it almost feels like it's like heaven or some weird
Yeah.
different
Yeah,
dimension
sure.
or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a street scene from Blue Velvet.
really? Yeah,
it's like
good
it
point.
turns into Blue Velvet.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah.
And
Yeah,
then-
it gets
and
all
then-
Lynchian.
Yeah, and then it gets all Tim Burton-y with
Yeah,
the
totally.
canopy
Yeah.
comes over them. And,
Yep.
So
Yep, yep.
what was the answer then? Did you already explain that?
yeah,
Okay, I wasn't
it
listening.
was basically the producer intervened and said, we need to do something more,
Right.
Wes Craven, because we don't like your happy ending.
Right.
And so, and he's like, okay, fine, I'll just do this thing where
Yeah.
Freddy comes and takes the mom through the
Well,
window.
you know what it is too. It's such a music.
So
it's such a music video ending too.
Man, it is,
Isn't it?
right.
I mean, it's
It
totally
really
a
is.
music video
Yeah,
ending.
that's a good point. It really is. You could just cut that part out and
Definitely.
overdub Def Leppard on there and be like, oh yeah, I mean,
I almost wonder if he was shooting that for something, that got canned, and then he's like, "Oh, I can use. I'll just tack
Yeah.
that onto the end."
yeah.
That
Remember
music
where we
video
pull
I
that
made.
mannequin through the little window slot? Yeah,
Because that's how different it feels from the
it
rest
does.
of the movie too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it
right.
just,
So
it's-
disjointed.
yeah, it just doesn't
Yeah.
have any place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Wes Craven at that point was like, "Now I'm going to ask somebody else to direct this scene, and then it'll be like my dream."
Where's my
you know?
assistant director?
Yeah.
Yes.
He got all like '60s kooky and stuff. He's
Yeah.
like,
Right. Right.
Spiritually, I'm going to let somebody direct my dream for the ending of my film.
Right.
And he started floating up in the air like Doctor Strange. Can you see that? I think that's what happened.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
No, Tim Burton came in. I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Everybody kind of had their hand in it.
Yeah.
David Lynch. Oh yeah, I know this. You just come to Blue Velvet set. It was right around the same time too.
Yeah. I've got some extra ears laying
Yeah,
around.
Yeah.
You can use.
Bring that guy, Johnny Depp. I want to work with him. Maybe he will one day. Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
great
that'd be
David
great.
Lynch impression.
Thank you.
That would be great.
Well, he's always got that finger up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always like doing like
Diane,
Just look up David Lynch
Yeah.
hand motions.
Yeah,
and
he's
you
got
just-
that-
He's always like moving his hand.
Yeah.
Just one hand, not both. Just one.
Just one, yeah.
He's like wiggling it like a seizure
Yeah.
or something.
It's pretty great though. It's like he's grabbing something from another universe.
Yeah,
and he's
right.
like bringing it in.
But that's how he explains stuff. He's like, when you have the idea
yeah.
and when you grasp it and blah blah blah, you're like, I have no idea what he's talking about, but I love every minute of it, and I
Yes.
can't stop listening.
This is a huge aside, but I think this is worth mentioning. We've talked about this before too. I think. Did you send me that quinoa video? David Lynch cooking quinoa.
yeah.
Oh,
Did you see that?
yes, absolutely.
He's cooking
I did.
quinoa,
Yeah.
and then he tells that weird ass story about him being on a train in Turkey.
Yes.
Yeah, and getting
and then-
Coca-Cola or something like that.
And then like they stop in the middle of a desert and they're buying stuff from strange gypsies and things like that. You know, he's just telling this whole story while he's waiting for his quinoa
Yep.
to boil. You know, and he's just smoking a cigarette. Like the way him telling a story is like watching a David Lynch
Oh,
movie.
dude, it's
Yeah.
utterly. It's an existential. It's
amazing.
The
Yeah.
whole thing I hate about
An exercise in
that whole story
existentialism, yeah.
is like his people are basically telling him when the quinoa's ready.
Yeah.
And so he's not done finishing the story.
He's like, oh, okay.
And he's like, oh, your quinoa's ready. He's like, oh, time to
yeah.
go.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
you didn't finish the fucking
Yeah.
story.
But that also is like a David Lynch movie.
Yeah,
That's how a
exactly.
David Lynch movie would end
That's
too.
right.
You know? Oh, okay, now it's the ending.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Yep.
You need to explain that.
Right.
And he's like, I gotta go cook my quinoa.
That is one of the best videos on the internet.
And then there was a woman sitting across the way from me inside of the mobile of the train. And then she had never had Coca-Cola. So I ordered her a Coca-Cola. And she poured it into a glass and brought it up to her nose. And she drank it. And immediately it erupted out of her nostrils, all over the table, all over everyone in the seats around her.
I mean, that's pretty much the video. You don't have to watch it anymore. I
And
mean,
then
that's
he's like, then he's like, and because it wasn't used to the carbonation. Oh, the quinoa's ready? Okay. That's the end of the story.
Oh man.
Like, whoa.
It's genius. It's genius.
Yeah, that's one of his best movies that he never made. Yeah, he just told you his whole movie.
Yeah.
Amazing.
See, every time I think that how we were born 30 years too late to
Yeah.
catch like Dolly when he was in his prime, you know, right there at the end. But then I'm like, but we have David Lynch,
Yep.
so that's
Yeah.
okay too.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, exactly.
I can do that.
It's really
can
the
live
same
with
kind
that.
of thing going on, isn't it?
it is
It
kind
really
of.
is.
It's just like this
Yeah. 'Cause-
genius in genius land, and you get like a snapshot
Yep.
into what's going on.
The same
yeah.
way Dolly too would Salvador Dali would sometimes cross over into the mainstream.
Oh, yeah.
People-
Oh, sure. Oh,
everybody would
definitely.
Notice like, oh, that's Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
That's that crazy artist. You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
But then he would do a lot of stuff nobody would ever see or anything.
Right.
But then he'd come back into the public eye. Same thing with David Lynch.
Yeah.
You know, he's like nowhere for years, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's nominated for 17 Academy Awards. this
Right.
year. It's like, oh,
I
okay.
had this idea. I'm
Yeah.
gonna call it Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Everybody's like,
Oh,
"Ah, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Ah, good stuff.
Yeah. What else do we want to say about
Yeah,
Nightmare?
what more should we talk about?
Anything you wanted to mention in your notes?
I have notes. I just one thing I thought was kind of funny is in the credits
Yeah.
they refer to him as Fred Krueger
Yes.
instead of Freddy Krueger, and I was like,
Right.
but they call it at first they call him. I think
They do call him Fred in the beginning. Yeah.
but then like towards the end it's always Freddy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that they were just kind of getting their feet wet. I figured, like,
Yeah,
okay,
totally.
they just don't know what they're doing yet.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then so I'm sure from there, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen 2 in I don't know how many years,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure it's Freddy Krueger from there on
Right.
out. But I just thought that was interesting.
Did you notice that? Speaking of Krueger, we were watching this
Oh yeah.
right
Right.
before the Johnny Depp turns into a volcano of blood.
Yeah.
The radio
station,
says
yeah.
station KRGR signing off. Yeah.
Krueger.
Krueger.
Very cute.
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Yep.
So listen for that.
A little nugget.
Yeah. It just kind of weird. Just both looked at each other like, "What did we
Wait
just hear
a
that?"
minute.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Oh, and why did it like so Rod when he gets hanged?
Yes.
He it takes him like 2 seconds and he's dead.
Yeah.
I know.
That was
I
the
know
worst
it.
death scene. I mean,
I'm
like
like-
not the best one.
I mean, I don't know much about getting hanged.
Right.
But I think it takes more than 2 seconds.
Right.
I would say so. That's a good point. That's a good point because it was literally just like.
I mean, I
wrapped
get
around
it.
his neck and then he's hanging.
Yeah.
Well, they did that also. I think Wes Craven was on a lot of cocaine at the time because there is a lot of fast things going on. You know.
Yeah.
Like even you
Yeah,
notice
yeah,
at the
where it's-
ending too was you know, so she was gonna call her boyfriend Johnny Depp at 12, or
Right.
he was gonna call her or
Right.
whatever.
And that
Right.
scene was horribly drug out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then later they go, oh, the cops are here, and then she's like, okay, that so 12:30, 12:30, that will give me exactly 20 minutes,
Yeah.
right? So that means from the time he turned into a volcano to the time the cops showed up and went in there and checked it all out, that took 10 minutes?
Right.
No way.
Right. That's just a
It
little
took
bit of
10 minutes just for the blood to finish emptying from his carcass.
I mean, you have to understand, it's a movie. Most people
Yeah.
aren't paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I get that. This reminds me of like the whole like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, where
Yeah,
they
sure.
they did the math and
Yeah.
go, wait a minute,
Okay.
if you know he had that particular keyboard
Yeah.
in his thing,
Right.
he could totally afford a car if he had that keyboard
Right,
because you know, it's like, well, yeah, it's a movie. Just
Yeah.
let
no,
it go.
I totally understand that. But there is a part of me though that says like as a writer, you know, like you
Yeah.
would have to write that and to actually think that
Sure.
whole thing would only take 10 minutes. Were the cops that fast? Was the ambulance that fast
Sure.
in the 80s that it would take
Well, it
10
was-
minutes?
Well, the
his-
problem is too is that once they start, they use time as a focus,
Yeah.
right? Because she's saying,
Yeah.
"Look, you got to wake me up at this time."
Yeah.
You've now brought time into the
Yeah.
forefront of the
Yeah,
storytelling,
they're
right?
looking at the watches.
And so now everybody is concerned with time, whereas
yeah.
normally that sort of stuff, you
Yeah.
can,
Yeah.
you know, we have no idea. Every time the camera moves, we don't know how long actually anything has happened. So
Yeah.
you can
But-
get away with it, but
Yeah,
I
think
get
you're
your
right.
gripe, yeah.
But I think also like, you know, as a writer, you'd think like,
Yeah.
you'd be like, okay, he's dying, he dies,
Right.
and then his parents have to discover him.
Right.
Am I going too far into this? I'm just saying, like,
no, it's
like-
cool. It's good to
Like
talk
I would
about,
make
though,
that
yeah.
in a note. I would say
Yeah.
I would write that down and be like, there's no way all that can
Yeah.
happen in 10 minutes
Right.
to where I have her dad saying, okay, it's 12:10 now. Oh, that'll give me exactly 20 minutes. You know,
Right.
You're like,
Right.
that took you
Yeah.
10 minutes. No, that doesn't work on paper.
Yeah.
You know?
Part of that might have to do with the edit too, where
Yeah.
it looks really good when you write it
Yeah.
in the script,
Yeah.
but then when you edit the movie together,
you're like,
you're like,
whoa.
oh, we got to put all this other stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, our timeline got all messed up.
Yeah.
They're just like, bah, it looks good.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Or it could be another reason we haven't even thought about is another level that Wes Craven was trying to say, like, even
Oh, sure.
that was a dream.
Sure.
So
Well, I
there's,
heard that was the original ending. Was the whole movie was supposed to be
Yeah.
a nightmare,
yeah.
Right.
and then there was like,
I'd like to experience that for like three nightmares or something. And then I'd be like, okay, that's it.
I'm good.
Yep.
Because that's pretty freaky. Has that happened to you before?
Waking up.
Yeah. Well, like
Oh.
you wake up in your dream, but you're still dreaming.
Oh.
It's been a long time, but it's happened a few times in my life. I can remember.
That's pretty
but-
scary.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I have. I have woken up from a nightmare though,
Yeah.
and that usually sucks.
Yeah. But then you get that flood of relief though too. You know.
Yeah, or like I've had like that
whoa,
flood of like disillusionment,
Yeah.
like,
What?
oh
You're like,
wait,
did that just happen?
I'm in my bed. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That, yeah,
Like usually, like mine is like I totaled my car or something.
yeah, sure.
And I'm thinking, oh fuck, my car is. I could just total my car, and I'm like, wait a minute,
right.
I'm in bed.
Stop a minute. Yeah, yep.
That never happened.
Yeah.
But
amazing.
totaling a car is something that is more realistic, whereas
Yeah.
like, oh, I killed somebody is probably not.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Well,
right,
it
right,
depends.
right.
It depends. you know.
Well, it depends on you, I guess. You do you, man.
I love it.
That's whatever floats your boat.
Yep. Whatever floats your boat. What floats your boat? Air? Air floats my boat. Sorry, I'm quoting Flula. You know Flula?
Yes, I do know.
Well
that.
done. Awesome.
Well done.
Yeah.
I didn't think
great.
anybody knew about that guy.
Oh, he's
So-
so great.
yeah.
he's-
I follow him on the Facebook or on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out that dude, Flula. You know that guy?
I don't know that guy. I got to
Oh.
check him out.
He's
now.
like a German funny man / music guy. He's kind of a Renaissance man. He's pretty good.
He
Nice.
started as a YouTube guy because he would just like wake up in the morning and then because he's a German guy,
Yeah.
and then he would just like talk about weird stuff he found in America with the camera like right in his face at 6 a.m, with his eyes barely open, you know. And those are the funniest things because
Yeah.
it's like it's just
It
pure
was.
comedy, you know. It's just pure. It's like
Yeah.
him.
And he would
he's-
make fun of like usually like English sayings,
some weird
like,
saying,
whatever floats your boat,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
or
And he built a whole career on this. Then he got on Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
Then now he's in movies.
Oh,
He
nice.
does a bunch of like cartoon voices and stuff. He just
Yep.
wasn't. He did the voice for somebody in the Wreck-It Ralph, the latest Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, nice.
So he just like catapulted it,
Totally.
But he was great. Yeah.
Hear that, Hollywood?
Yeah.
Neighborhood Watch. You need to catapult us.
That's right.
Into
our
voicing
turn.
over
It's our turn. Now.
idiots.
Yeah.
We'd be good at doing idiots.
That's right. That's right. But I want to talk about dreams just a little bit more, guys.
Yes.
Dreams.
Well, we were talking how this is a fantastic movie about dreams,
Yeah.
as is Phantasmagoria.
Yeah.
Phantasm. Sorry, I always
No,
call it Phantasmagoria.
It's nothing to be
Phantasm.
sorry about, Dr. K. Phantasmagoria is one of the greatest magazines that was ever
It is.
invented.
It is.
So that's not a bad thing to say.
But Coscarelli's
Coscarelli.
Phantasm
Yep.
with what's his face? What's that actor's name?
Oh, so Angus Scrim.
Angus Scrim. Thank you. Yes.
Is that the guy, the pale guy?
Yes.
Boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's the best. He was like 90 years old for 40 years.
Right.
It was amazing.
Yes.
That guy's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
But there's the other really great movie series for any of those out there who love stuff about dreams, because that gets more into parallel universe stuff too, but it is definitely weirdly dreamlike bizarroness.
That's a great comparison because it really, to Nightmare on Elm Street, that's probably the closest.
I think so.
In horror, really, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
in horror,
Hellraiser could make a case.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, kind
similar
of.
Vibes,
Yeah.
But that's another thing we talked about too. Was it's interesting. Nightmare and Phantasm too, actually.
Yeah.
They both got into the supernatural subject
without
religion.
Yeah,
there was no religion involved in there.
Exactly.
Hellraiser, it's
that's
like hell.
That's the huge difference with Hellraiser, right?
Yep.
That's going the totally opposite direction.
We're gonna go full Catholic.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was interesting to see, like, oh, that's kind of cool. They got around that whole, like, we can be supernatural and scary without being religious.
Right.
That might have been one of the first times audience has seen something like that.
Really? When you talk about like the
was
Omen we were talking about, totally religious themes.
Yep.
Exorcist, totally religious themes.
Even Nightmare or Friday the 13th had religious things
Oh,
in it.
big time. Yeah.
So,
the whole, sin and you'll pay for your sins.
But what's interesting is in Nightmare on Elm Street, there is a lot of stuff with the cross above the bed.
There is
There's a lot of hugging of a cross, but it's not like the main focus.
No.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
But it's still you're using religion, but in a different way.
Yeah.
In one of the later Freddy movies, didn't they kill him by giving him a funeral?
I think so.
They're like, that's how they figured out how to kill him. They had to
yeah.
like give him a proper
Right.
funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just kind of went away after they
Yeah.
did that or
Yep.
something like
It
that.
kind of makes sense. It's kind of cool. It's kind of
Right.
a cool idea.
So there's a slight religious thing there, but it's like kind of like, yeah, whatever. We'll just use that as a...
Right. It's not like he's full on. Like I felt like those crosses on the walls were really no different than like the poster of the police.
Yeah,
back
totally.
there, you know, it
Totally,
was just
totally.
like really. It was like cool wall decoration. You know?
Sure,
It
and I
wasn't
wonder
like
if it's not speaking more something about the main characters, the character of the main character, right? Like she's some kind of pseudo virginity.
Yeah.
Like she's
very pure.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
pure. She did a
Wholesome.
good job. She did a
Wholesomeness,
really good job.
all of that stuff, right? It's
I
a
gotta
way
say,
to
man, yeah, she did a great job of being really wholesome, exactly.
Yeah.
And almost like, you know, this weird, you know, maybe it's also because I'm an old bastard, you know, but like I felt like really protective for her, you know.
Sure.
I was like, you know, I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
Right.
She's a good
Totally.
girl.
Yeah.
Well, that and, you know, if she died, there'd be no movie left.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
But it wasn't like other Scream Queens where they got that kind of quality where you're like, yeah, I really hope you don't die, but at the same time, I'd kind of like to see you naked.
If you do, yeah. All right.
So it doesn't matter too much to me what happens to you.
Well, you saw like she took off her shirt and you saw her back. And
Yes.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
sort of naked.
Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And then when the bathtub scene too, when she's
Yeah.
dropping down, right?
Yeah.
You get some kind of side
little,
booby there,
little
but
tease,
yeah,
little tease.
yeah.
But
definitely no.
she's so
it's-
wholesome. She's
yeah.
so wholesome. She's a nice girl.
Yeah.
Her mom's a little weird. Her mom with the Pat Sajak face.
Yeah, Patch Sajak face.
It's a little tough to
I
handle.
don't want to see the mom going
And
real
her dad
fortune.
though too. Her dad, John Saxon.
Yes,
He
John
was in
Saxon.
Enter the Dragon.
That's right.
Yeah, he was kind
He's
of
the
like
sheriff.
he felt like a very famous actor that shouldn't have been in that role
Yeah.
or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. It needed to be Tom Adkins,
Yep.
but Tom Adkins was that role in every single
Yes.
80s movie,
Yeah.
and he was probably doing that role in a different movie
Yeah.
while they were shooting that movie. That's why we couldn't get him.
Oh,
right.
I'm sure he was like, I'm going to be in Lethal Weapon, guys.
Yeah,
I'm outta
right.
here. I'm outta
Yeah,
here.
there we go.
I'm acting with Mel Gibson and Danny
Yeah.
Glover
That might have been
and
it.
Richard Donner.
Yes.
And so I'm out of here. I'm here big time.
Yeah.
And then now everybody's like, Night of the Creeps, Night of the Creeps.
Right.
He's like, what about the dad in Lethal Weapon?
Come
How much
on.
time I put into that character?
What about Halloween 3? I was the main character
Yeah.
in Halloween 3.
They're like, nope, we want Night of
cop.
the Creeps. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We want you to say, what was it? Thrilled?
Oh,
Is that it? Thrilled.
Yeah. Yes.
Good
Ah.
night.
That.
Yeah, John Saxon. You're
But
right.
John Saxon.
He
he's
has
great.
that. He has that quality of like.
He does.
He's a little too good for this material.
Yep.
But at the same time, like he was starting to wind down. He
Yeah.
was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I just want something kind of easy. I'll be a sheriff.
Yeah. A sheriff dad.
Yeah.
Sheriff that yells at his daughter
Yeah,
every
I
2
can do
seconds.
that.
Yes.
I can do that. I can yell. All
Yeah.
right. Where's my paycheck?
Yeah.
And
Then, but
probably
then he
thought-
did Ray Bradbury Theater to
Yes.
reclaim his career.
Yeah, which
you know, so.
catapulted him to a whole nother
Yes.
stratosphere.
Yes. That one episode.
That
Everybody
one
remembers Ray
episode. the
Bradbury
Ray
Theater.
Bradbury Theater.
Yes.
That is
Welcome to the
great.
Neighborhood Watch, Twan, where
Oh.
we have to talk about the Ray Bradbury Theater every episode.
Yes.
You forced me to watch the Jeff Goldblum episode.
Yes, what'd you
Isn't
think?
that great?
It was just really long. It was really drawn out. I was like, they could have wrapped this up in like half the time.
Yeah.
And it was good. There was a lot of intense moments
Yeah.
there, but I just felt like it's like, okay, we have what was it, an hour? Was it 45 minutes?
It was a pretty long
Yeah.
show, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is like the half the episode was just him walking around the town, and you're like, okay, when something
Yeah.
bad's gonna happen,
See
nothing's
now,
happening.
this because I know you so well though. I think that this is your animation brain speaking to you.
It could be.
Ah, right.
Because you have that
Timing
you're-
wise.
Yeah, you're just like used to that animation timing, and you're like, but if you
Get
if
to
you
the point.
yeah, if you unplug from that a little bit, what I think I have the opposite reaction to that episode. And it's fine to have different opinions.
No,
You know,
no.
we don't
Oh,
always have to
absolutely.
agree. But my reaction is like, I love all those long slow scenes because it just adds to the creepy atmosphere, you know. And it's for me, it's like, oh shit, this is like weird, like you know, it just keeps getting more and more slightly creepy. And
Yeah.
I like that slow build, you know.
Yeah, I guess I in this day and age, I'm
Yeah.
just like I
You're like, get to the
consume so
point.
much media that
Yeah.
I'm just like
Yeah,
I have
sure.
my attention span is just like gone to
Well,
zero.
it makes sense.
I'm like, I just give me the like. I'll see like somebody will send me a YouTube video and I'll see that it's like 5 minutes long, and I'll just hit. I'll just scan right to the middle of the video just to see if there's anything worth watching. Because I'm like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
Just get to the point.
Yes.
And I feel bad about it, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, I got shit to do, man.
Yeah, I'm sure
Except
a
when
lot
you're
of people
listening
do
to
that.
Neighborhood Watch podcasts
Yes.
that go on for 2.5 hours
Yes.
long, right? You're
Right.
like, oh, gotta
Don't
get
do that to this.
get in the beginning there.
No, you got to hear.
Don't
every
listen to
single
what I'm
Suffer.
saying
Yeah,
and for this podcast.
You
But
must-
everything else, it's okay.
you must hang on every word.
Every word.
This is important stuff.
Because we never diverge from
No.
the topic at hand.
No, I think we pretty much nailed it, guys. Like we covered everything. The music.
Oh, dude, the
man.
music's great. We got to talk about that, right? Particularly
music.
because
remember
none of
the-
us knew the. I mean, did you know the guy who did the music?
No, but the one thing
Peter and I didn't either.
Yeah.
the one thing that blew my mind. That's some video I sent you, the laser tongue.
Oh, that was cool.
It's like 30. It's about 30 minutes into the movie
Yeah.
where Freddy's like chasing somebody, and it's like a close up of Freddy's tongue, like going back and forth, and the music is synchronized like a laser. It goes. I was like, that is fantastic. I literally took a clip from that. I took I just basically just trimmed the whole movie to that clip. I sent it to you, and I was like, yes, that 100%.
Oh, yeah.
So get this, guys. Charles Bernstein, who did the music. Do you know where he's from?
Where is he from?
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Of course he is.
That's cool. Way to
2/3
go.
of the Neighborhood Watch are from pretty near there, aren't
Oh
they?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's yeah, he had a great year for music, man.
Yeah. I mean, he did do the music for Cujo too.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean that theme, that Nightmare on Elm Street theme.
Oh,
is
it's
just-
great.
It's so iconic.
Dun, 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 dun.
A Nightmare on My Street.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to talk about that too, which is funny. So I researched that before
Yeah.
we did our podcast, and so both Nightmare on My Street and Are You Ready for Freddy by the Fat Boys. So
Fat
we got to
Boys.
catch people up. The Fat Boys did Are You Ready for Freddy in 1988,
Yeah.
and Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff did Nightmare on My Street in 1988.
Yep.
Both in support, in the Fat Boys in direct support
Yeah.
of Dream Warrior,
Yeah.
and then superfluously.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh
Yeah.
Prince of Bel-Air
They tried
just kind of getting on the bandwagon
Yeah.
because they weren't actually associated with the movie.
Yeah.
But this is kind of reinforces, I think, our bigger idea that part 3 is the shit, man. That's where it was
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
And those 2 singles came out in support of that movie.
by the time 3 came out, Freddy was a brand.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
for sure,
right.
for sure.
He was
Like
blowing
if
up,
it
yeah.
wasn't a horror movie,
Yeah.
he would have been in cereal boxes and
Sure,
shit like
no
that.
doubt.
For
Like,
sure.
No doubt. No doubt.
And he was, I mean, I gotta say too, back in the day, I found him to be legitimately scary. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. Oh,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah,
he's-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was like Freddy and
legitimate.
Jason were the two big
Yeah.
ones, right?
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
you couldn't
they
touch
were
those
freaky.
guys.
Right.
I mean, now it's like, you know, it's not really scary, you know, by today's standards.
I mean,
don't
what's
think.
scary today, right? What's
That's
what
the
is
question.
what's the
Yeah.
That
boogeyman
is the
today
question.
for
Right.
for the youngins out there?
Yeah, who knows, right?
I'm thinking
Getting
like,
a real job.
like
the horror. The horror.
The
oh,
horror!
God, student loans.
Yeah.
Ah!
Oh, my God.
Yeah. This is the old man complaining section.
Yeah.
I just
No,
did that earlier too. I was like, these 16-year-olds parking their car here.
What are they doing?
Yeah. We go on. Yeah.
But no, I'm thinking like like Saw, like Jigsaw was
Yeah.
like
Yep.
like what 5-10 years ago.
Yep.
That was like the thing.
Big
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm just thinking of like what is scary. That's
There
out.
was like a torture porn thing for a while.
There definitely was.
I think
Definitely. Hostel
lately-
was right on that
Yeah.
bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think lately there's been that nun one.
Yep.
I heard
Like,
about
people
that.
are freaked out about
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what people are really scared of now. Though.
For
Well, I
me,
guess the question is it monsters like
Yeah.
kind of what we were getting at with,
Yeah.
you know, you've got Freddy, Jason,
Yeah.
Leatherface,
Yeah.
Pinhead.
Mike
Those are all
Myers.
Mike Myers. Those are all monsters, right?
Right.
But then sometimes it's not. It's psychological.
Yeah,
It's way
like
more
with
Silence
the
of the
stuff that
Lambs.
Jordan Peele's doing. you
Yeah,
know,
exactly, right.
So it's
Right.
those actually freak me out because
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Get
Me
Out?
too.
You
Yeah.
watch
yeah,
Get
yeah.
Out?
I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I have not watched it yet.
Man, yep, that's a great one.
Yep.
It's a great one. I love Get Out because it's like, I remember watching it and being like, this just feels like a really long Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah,
that's just,
it's great.
And then he ends up taking over Twilight Zone. It's like,
Yep.
this is perfect. Thank you for listening.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, for us, it was definitely monsters, right? I mean, it really
Oh, yeah.
was. It was.
Slashers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your what would you say is like the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Like
Period.
still to this day.
Yeah.
We talk about that a lot. What do we say?
We do. Well, shoot.
Like the one that actually kind of still freaks you out when you watch it.
Well, I would say
Yeah.
just from our last few episodes,
Yeah.
we have our Trinity, right?
Yes.
Like we say
Yep.
is The Exorcist,
Yep.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Boom, boom.
Yep.
2 for 2.
and
The
The
Shining.
Yeah. Those are
Those
the ones.
Those are the
And-
three Trinity.
Yes.
I would
think
say
in the-
those are
yeah.
the mine too.
Those
like,
really pull, and because they pull on you for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
They each kind of tap onto a certain nerve.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yep.
And like they're like the main three pathways, really. You know,
Yeah.
every other movie can be categorized under
Yeah.
one of those.
That's right. And
In the
Peter and
horror
I,
genre.
we picked those because we both agreed, especially the first time we saw each of those three, we were definitely like, oh, shit. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
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 Right. And, you know, anybody can watch a movie 1,000 times until they're not scared. But it's really important that first time you see it, or the first time at least where you really pull a
Take it
movie in and you try to engage with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great, right? Because those three are for different reasons. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is so dirty. It's such a filthy movie
Right.
that it's like, even forget the chainsaw and the outright like scare you part. The movie is so dirty, like you wouldn't even want to be there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just like everything about
Yeah,
it's just
it's
gross.
filthy.
And
real.
and totally real,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Because there's
what
nothing
freaked me
supernatural
out.
about it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
it's just crazy people in
You know,
Texas.
when she opens the door and he just
Yeah.
walks out and wham.
Oh,
with
that
the
that
sledgehammer.
like that literally like freaked me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
I,
right.
I was just, Jesus Christ.
Like everybody who sees that for the first time.
Oh,
it's,
man.
it's
that,
traumatizing.
yeah, and then slamming the door, right?
Yeah.
Grabbing the door,
Yep.
slam.
Slams it behind him.
Like, oh
That was so fun to watch with you though, Dr.
Yeah.
K, because you're like the hugest horror fan of all of us, you know. And like when that scene happened, you were like, yeah. It was like we were at a punk concert or something.
Yes.
You're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome.
Like you're watching what you're watching. It's just like, it was perfect. Yeah.
Like ages like fine wine.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. It
Yep.
was just something so punk about that.
But no, you're absolutely right. You know, I mean, but the first time when someone sees that, right, your mouth is on the floor. You're like, oh, God.
Yeah. It's like,
What?
dude, I did not need to see that.
Yeah. Yep.
Blair Witch Project was like that for me.
Right. Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yep. That was
It's
a
probably
really
not,
good one.
I haven't seen it for years. It's probably not as scary now.
Yeah.
But
The hard part for how great that movie is, it's
it's really about the experience.
it's that first time you watch it, right?
Yeah.
Because once you understand where it's going,
Yeah.
it's really hard to disassociate having already seen it
right.
the second time.
Yeah. Because that's part of the joy of that movie is it's found footage.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
man.
know what's going to be
Right.
put
It was
in
a
front
stroke
you
of brilliance.
next.
I mean, we're still suffering from this
yeah.
idea of reality TV,
Yes.
which the door swung wide open with that film, right?
Yep.
I mean, there was plenty of that going on before, but when that movie came out, then this idea of, you know, let's not use real actors, let's just use fucking bozos, and let's just walk around with cameras, and we're going to show you something cool that you weren't ready for.
Yeah.
That's all Blair Witch.
Yep.
I mean, all of that.
Yep. I recently I came across one on Amazon recently, and I watched it, and it was it's like from just a few years ago too, low budget, totally copying the Blair Witch thing,
Right.
but they had like a cool spin on it.
Cool.
I'm killing myself because I'll have to look it up and put it in the notes maybe later
Yeah, there we go.
of what this movie was. But
We will enter that title here now. And yes,
Rob
about
Bottin. and so that's what it is, you know.
Yeah.
And but it was cool, yeah. Like what you're just saying, I think that found footage things, we're still suffering from it, and it's really hard to make a like original one now.
Yeah. Oh
we're
man,
so-
it is. It is.
we're
It's so played out.
inundated with
Yeah.
that. Right?
Yeah.
What about you though? Like, what's your scary?
I mean, you nailed it. It was like those were the,
Yeah.
like the first. I mean, The Shining's pretty good.
Yeah.
But definitely like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Exorcist were just like boom.
Boom, boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it was like for Exorcist for me was psychologically scary, whereas Texas Chainsaw Massacre was like, holy shit, this could actually happen, and
Yeah.
I'm going to die if I go to Texas.
Right.
And then The Shining was just like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, Shining is just
Oh,
like, this
man.
is just all sorts of crazy.
Pure
Like,
supernatural
I don't even know how to
craziness.
process this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The Shining's like supernatural that you can't even fight against, right?
Yeah.
Whereas The Exorcist is supernatural that you're trying to prevail against.
Yeah.
And so there's the battle going on,
Right.
and you know
Right.
you're hoping
For
to
sure.
win, but in
And
the
I think-
in the Shining, it's just like it's all
Yeah.
overwhelming, and
Yeah. And I think I would say for me, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not as scary as the other two now.
oh right, yeah,
You know, at the time, but like now,
Right.
I think out of those three, for me,
yeah.
it's like The Exorcist still.
Probably.
And The Shining still has some pretty scary things.
We
too.
talked about that too, because there are points in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that you can die of laughter.
Oh, yeah.
right? You can just
Yeah.
it's so good,
So
but
over the
you
top.
can laugh about it. Like
Yeah.
I mean, when the brother gets killed, you know,
Yeah.
that whole like,
He's in
I
the
think I heard
wheelchair.
something.
Yeah. Just looking around out there.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I thought I heard a noise, and then wham, just slices him up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
There's
so
no
good.
point in The Exorcist or The Shining where you have that,
That
that
level
just
of-
like, haha, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
it's
that
all-
level of release, even right.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Both of those movies, you're just
Oh,
tense
dude,
the
they
whole
just
time.
swamp you down. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about kind of
You're like,
oppressing you.
oh,
Yep.
yeah. Like you do not feel
Going
comfortable
down.
once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does Hudson say it? We're on an elevator going down. Yeah.
Yep. No, was that Hudson from Aliens?
Aliens.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
right when they do the drop shit.
Yeah.
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 Woohoo!
Badasses, man.
Yeah.
Badasses, man.
And then 2 seconds later,
Yeah.
much power in charge.
I need you to snap out of it.
He just
Yeah.
completely loses it.
Yeah.
That we have to get to Aliens.
We do got to get to Aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that movie also
That's-
scared me as a kid.
Me too.
It was
Me
pretty
too.
intense.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I think over time the first one, I still think the first one in a way is the best one, but Aliens, which is the one I will always go back to. Oh, dude, it's creep fest, right?
oh yeah.
Just the way that
Yeah.
You're
Those
stuck
little
in there
face
with them,
huggers. Yeah.
and it's a no-win situation,
Yeah.
man. That's a terrible thing
It's brutal.
to grasp with. Yeah.
And all that mucus and water
Oh,
coming off of them all the
yes.
time.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
all acid.
Yes.
Oh.
Right.
Ugh.
And a soundtrack that's could be
Yeah.
one of the best soundtracks of all time.
Ever.
I mean,
Yep. James Horner.
yes, James Horner giving the voice to the aliens, right?
Yeah.
And a voice to the situation
Yeah.
too. It just
So good.
real stroke. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get there, people. We will
Yep.
get there.
We'll get there. Togus. Anything else you want to say about anything this episode? Is there
No.
anything we haven't covered in Nightmare on Elm Street?
No, I think you guys covered it.
Do you think we have?
I think we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of danced around,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we did.
It's great.
Yeah. The music, right? I mean, we
Yeah.
got, The music is just awesome. It's got that great, it's all synthesizer. That was kind of cool. It was totally 1984 and perfect for this film,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
really perfect. Getting back to that kind of MTV glammy,
Totally.
whatever it is, whatever that untouchable thing was, they kind of put it in a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And that soundtrack really is
Yeah.
perfect for it.
Yeah. It's really great. And it never detracts. You know?
Oh, it doesn't, man. When you walk into Halloween Superstore
Yeah.
now and they're playing that, you know, that it's like you instantly know
Yeah.
that are Tubular Bells
Yeah.
with The Exorcist. It's
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yep.
I can feel the
Perfect.
horror.
Perfect Halloween music.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, and I think Robert Englund, man, he was great.
Oh,
it's so,
dude,
it's
great.
so cool to think, you know, he's Freddy, and he was also doing that show V. Do you remember that show?
Yeah.
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 You
he
mean
was-
the 80s one?
Yeah.
Yep.
he
I
was
know they
like-
did like one in the like 2000s or
Yes.
something.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Yeah, that's
watched
what I
it a
hear.
little bit,
Yeah.
But the 80s one is fun.
It is
pure fun.
great. Oh,
And Robert
man.
Englund was like the bumbling alien, you know. He was like, I'm on the human side, but I don't know what I'm doing. I'm goofy. Ha.
Yeah, he was the C-3PO of that
Yeah.
show,
Oh,
you know.
he was totally C-3PO.
And it's
He was
great
always
because it's
getting
so
things-
polar opposite of this Freddy Krueger character.
And
Yeah,
he's doing that at the same time.
right.
That's pretty
Yep.
amazing.
Yep,
Yeah, that must have been a fun couple of years for him.
right.
But then, you know, it's funny too, like a lot of those guys, man, like he got super popular for Freddy and then couldn't do anything
Yeah.
after that.
Sure.
Typecasting.
Yeah, that was
Yep.
man,
It's like,
totally.
you are Freddy.
Yep,
Like, I'm not going to have Freddy in my movie.
right.
I'm sure he got that constantly.
Oh yeah, or he would only get offered
Yeah.
bit role,
Yep.
roles in not good horror movies,
Yep,
right?
yep.
I'm sure he got inundated
Oh,
with
man.
like, you can be this guy
Tons.
who's just like Freddy, or that guy who's just like Freddy.
You
It's
know,
like,
there's a lot
no.
of people that go to film school to make
Yeah.
horror movies.
Oh
you know,
sure,
and
yeah,
then they get
because it's
unleashed.
the easiest way to get your foot in the door. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what every single filmmaker says. You know, if you
And
want to
they
get
just-
into Hollywood, you do horror movies first. Yeah,
Yep. And they just unleash.
Yeah.
Unleash.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I gotta get Freddy in my movie.
right, right.
Oh no.
Ugh.
He's only asking for $10,000. I think
Yeah.
we can raise the money.
right.
No. Maybe write a script first.
Yeah, right. You think?
Let's start there.
I'm talking to myself.
Let's
so.
try that first. Yeah.
I'm talking to myself right.
Peter's having his own conversation
yeah,
over here.
Yeah, that's what I would say to myself if I was making a movie and I wanted Freddy in it.
Yes.
Dang it.
I'll just call him Getty,
Yeah.
and it'll just really
Yeah,
be
just
Freddy.
use the DJ Jazzy Jeff Fresh Prince solution.
Yeah.
It's Freddy. He's got, look at his fingers. They're like records.
The record
Yeah,
styluses.
he's got a white face with big bouffant hair and
Yes.
a leather jacket. Yeah, it's Freddy. Freddy.
Yeah.
Is that scary to you?
It's a nightmare on my street. My street.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty scary.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
lawyers were really intense on it.
Yeah.
They were like, we got to cover ourselves.
Yep.
Gonna have a disclaimer at the beginning.
Oh,
and
that
at the
huge.
end.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Awesome.
Don't sue us. We're
Yeah.
helping sell your movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this was fun, guys.
It was great.
I can see Togus is getting tired now.
Oh,
Starting to
I'm
fade.
fine. Actually, I just got to pee.
Oh, okay.
Hey, all right.
We could just have an intermission, I guess.
There we go.
But yeah, I think it's good. I think we covered it, man. What do
Yeah.
you think? Yeah.
I do. Everybody, tell us what we should do. We'll give you a peek into what Peter and I our newest plans for the Neighborhood Watch are. Obviously, we'll keep cranking our regular podcast out. We're doing the 5-minute top fives for those of you who want something that's nice, sweet, and short.
Yeah.
Just as Twon was talking about. Skip all of that, like watching through all that crap.
Yeah.
Give me something quick, man, quick.
Yeah.
So we have those too. Please check those out. If you like to hear Peter and I jibber jabber on endlessly about stuff that we like, all cinema based. Those are a good intro. For those of you who love following us, we thank you for subscribing. If you're catching up with us now, please subscribe. It helps us out. Eventually, we'll make money one day.
Yeah. Would that be nice?
Or go watch our Evil Dead 2, because that's the only place where we've ever made any money. So
It is true. We still have to find that out, don't we?
I think we do. I'm pretty sure. Once you hit 100,000 views, you actually make money. So, and that's like at 130. So
Yeah. That's for some
we probably
reason,
made $5 or $6 by
for
now.
some reason, yeah. We have one episode that's like over 100,000
Yeah,
views.
the bots are working for us, man.
And then we have the rest of our episodes are like, 100 views,
Yes.
30 views.
Yes. our good loyal patrons.
Well, I hear YouTube's algorithm is a little messed up.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Not at all.
I'm just saying, like, isn't that funny though? Like one episode, it's
Yeah.
just like,
It
whoa,
just blows up.
I don't know what
So
it
we're
was.
waiting for Hollywood to call us to give us some money. Just
Yeah.
throw money at us. But,
Right. Because it would be nice to be able to recreate all of the stuff that we're talking about.
Yes,
You
that's
know,
right.
We can just hire like all these people to make a Nightmare on Elm Street again. And
That's right. That's
We
right.
can just walk through it and comment on it.
Yes.
And have it filmed.
Yes.
And then it's time for the next episode.
Right.
Yeah, that's in the future.
Yeah. Or we can buy a camera and actually show us
Yeah.
shooting a podcast
Yeah.
with a camera, or not.
I don't know
Because
about
we're
those.
secret, baby.
Yeah, should we do that? I mean,
Those
No.
camera things.
We shouldn't do that. No one wants to see us sitting
I
here.
don't like to do. I like
In
to
our
just
underwear.
listen to people.
Yeah,
You know,
me too.
If I see you talking to
No.
like Joe Rogan, I know he's super popular and
Yeah.
stuff, but I get kind of annoyed like looking at him.
There we go. And then people would be super annoyed looking at us.
Yeah. Oh man.
Like, WTF.
We
man.
haven't even been in news radio.
Show your. Yeah. Right.
Dang.
Or the MMA.
Right.
But
so-
if you like it, we'll give you a glimpse. This may or may not happen, viewers, listeners. But we are seriously considering a little bit of Hellraiser in our near future,
Yes.
and very, very, very more than likely going back to our zombie roots to episode 1. But this time we're going to do some Australian Mad Max zombies
It's gonna
with
be good.
the wonderful Wormwood Road of the Dead.
Amazing movie.
Amazing movie.
you seen
So
that?
those.
No.
Oh, well, there we go. We just turned Twon on to
Yeah.
some awesome
Oh,
filmage.
it's next level zombies for sure.
All right.
It is.
I'm not a big zombie fan, but I will humor this
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
different. It's really different.
Yeah, it's different.
It's
That's
Australian.
yeah,
Oh, God,
Yep,
those
yep, yep.
Australian zombies.
Yep.
I'm sold.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're gonna love it.
and funded by that was a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter campaign that got that movie made. So
It's good.
back early in the day of it all. So we'll have that up for you guys, and
And the Omen too, maybe.
and the Omen, that's at the very top of our list.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we'll fly Twon back to do more episodes.
Yeah.
there we go. Definitely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody listening on behalf of your Neighborhood Watch. Thanks for hanging out here with me, your Dr. K, and
And me, Peter. See you later, everybody. Thanks for listening.
our wonderful guest appearance from the one and only
Togus.
Twon.
Thank you, guys. It's been fun.
Until next time, thanks for hanging out.